Alright, guys, I'm gonna start Papa's Bakeria for this one. And I think it's Manton's turn to be a server. I did Orkia and Pancakeria, Manton and Wingeria, Orkia and Donuteria, and Manton and also I'll do Manton and Bakeria. Please note that I'm not going to be doing these games in order. Some games I'll start later on. For example, I'm going to be starting Papa's Mokeria later on because it's complex, but at first I'm planning to start I started Pancakeria, Wingeria, Donuteria, and I'm going to be starting Bakeria next. For the next episode, I'm not sure if I'll do Posteria or Cluckeria. I really want to do Cluckeria, so I may do Posteria after that. We will see. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, I think I figured out the Do Not Disturb thing, but I'm not 100% sure. I did go into my phone settings and there was a Do Not Disturb thing, but I don't know if that's tied into screen, notifications on the screen while recording. I guess we're just going to have to find out if my mom ever texts again, or not just my mom, but anyone ever texts while I'm recording. It will more than likely be my mom, though, because I hardly get texts from anyone else. There we go. There's my style. I just need my color. Alright. There we go. I like a smaller mouth. Give me some eyebrows. Lower the eyes. And I think that's it. I just gotta put my name. Alright, I think that will do it. I'll do beauty salon. Why not? Or bookstore, I don't know. I'll do beauty salon because it matches my personality. Although my dream job in real life is to be an author. Matter of fact, that's probably what I'm gonna be talking about in this episode. I'm probably gonna be talking about dream jobs and whatnot, careers and dream jobs. After I talk about some other stuff. Besides, I don't like to jump right into a topic because then I'll run out of stuff to talk about, for the second half of the video. So I like to just kind of talk about something else, something not as major, while I'm playing, while we're in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll talk about the major topic. But yes, I'm going to skip the training. Alright. I can't remember Big Polly's order clearly. I think he orders the white crust. And there's a method that I use to help me get a 100% on the build station. I call it the graham cracker method. I prepare a graham cracker pie because it has the gridded crust, so it kind of helps with centering. So I just make a graham cracker pie and then I throw it away and the other pie will already be centered. Although it was unnecessary for this because he's ordering streusel instead, but I'll show you again what I mean. And yes, I'm doing Big Polly's first because I like to just get the make and wait sticker out of the way. Alright, that's awesome. We don't have the pies making a noise, because sometimes when the food is cooking, it drowns out my voice a bit. It's not as bad as if I have the music playing, but still. That's why I turned the music off. I know I've said this a lot, but yeah, the reason I prefer not to have the music on is so you guys can hear me better. I know some of you guys can still hear me with the music on, but I still like to be as cautious as possible. I can sometimes hear myself with the music on, but sometimes I don't. So I'm just like, you know what? If I can't even hear myself sometimes, I might as well just turn off the music. That was a train outside. So yeah. How have you guys been? I've been pretty good. Life is just a little bit hectic right now, but nothing I can't handle. And we have 2,500 tips from purchasing some extra tips, so I'm going to be using that. That's another reason why I rather wait to play Bakeria. Because I'm an Apple user, okay? And for some reason, I don't know what it was exactly, but for some reason, Flipline couldn't put tips in there. Put a tip shop in Papa's Mokeria on the Apple version of this game. I think they can do it on the Samsung version or the Android version. But not the iOS/Apple. I don't know what it is. I have no idea why that was. At first, I thought it was because of storage space. They ran out of storage for the game or something, but from what they've told me, like, they weren't, they couldn't for whatever reason. Like, they weren't approved to. Can't really remember the exact reason, but I don't know what it, even, when I did remember it, freshly, I had no idea why they couldn't. So, yeah, that's another reason why I rather not play Bakeria right now. It's just very complicated. The customers are impatient, I don't even have extra tips because I've never been able to buy any because of the lack of the tip shop. Oh, I think the booster will make noise, but it should be okay. I'd rather have a booster, so the customers don't have to wait as long. Plus, I don't want to turn off the sound either, because that will be too bland. I like to at least have the sound on. Oh, hold on. Never mind. Let's make a graham cracker pie first. The filling doesn't matter, because we're just gonna throw it away, but I'll just do chocolate, why not? So you try to line the middle line up with the pie so you can lean, because it'll help you center it. Then you drop it, and then you just throw it away, and it'll stay like that when you make another pie, even if it's a different type of crust. Whippa! So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of busy tomorrow. Not all day, like, I'll probably be back at, like, I don't know, 1 o'clock Central, probably. Because I'm gonna be going to a service tomorrow for my uncle. Then we're gonna eat lunch at my grandma's. Which, you know, I mean, I'm excited about, but at the same time, kind of skeptical. Not so much about the service, but about, like, dinner. Or not dinner, lunch, because I don't even know what they're gonna have. They may not even have anything that I like. Plus, sometimes I'm forced to pray and everything. No offense to anyone who's religious. Don't get me wrong, I respect your beliefs as long as you respect other people's, including mine, and, like, you know, you're private about your beliefs. You know, that's fine. But if you're, like, publicizing your beliefs and, like, you know, forcing them down someone's throat, and, like, if you're, like, a parent or a grandparent forcing your children to pray, that's when I have a problem. But yeah, the service, I'm not really that skeptical about, per se. It's mostly the lunch that I'm skeptical about. I hope they have something I like. Man, my favorite foods are burgers, fries, spaghetti, tacos. Those are the shit. I think spaghetti would be the most probable. I kind of doubt it, though. But it does seem the most probable. Plus, there are some other foods that I like. Hopefully, if anything, they'll have, like, at least sides that I like rolls, desserts, you know, stuff like that. Ham. I love ham. Maybe they'll have ham. Who knows? The only thing I don't like about services, besides them being, like, you know, them being depressing. Oh my god. You see what I mean by these tutorials? Like, even when I say skip the tutorial, it still gives me tutorials, and sometimes they can be disruptive because they get in the way. Like, sometimes the freaking bubble gets in the way and you can't really see yourself centering the toppings. I can still do it on the top, but I prefer to do it on the bottom because of the lines on the pie can kind of help with that. It's harder to do it from the top. But yeah, anyway. The only thing I don't really like about, you know, funerals and services, besides the fact that, you know, they're a little sad and somber, is because you know, I come from a very religious family. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really like them, because they have to go all religious about it. And when I went to my Aunt Nay's funeral, my Aunt Naomi, the preacher was like telling us to embrace the fact that our parents or our grandparents was trying to instill religious belief in us. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to offend this person, this preacher, but come on, you can't, we shouldn't glorify trying to force religion on people. Religion should be a choice. It's one of the amendments, god damn it. That's actually one of the reasons why I don't like Thanksgiving. The other reason I don't like Thanksgiving, I don't have to deal with anymore. But I still worry about. The thing I don't have to deal with anymore that I still worry about is being forced to eat turkey. My mom would try to force me to eat turkey when I just want my freaking ham. And the other thing is, of course, being forced to pray. Like, come on. Just let me eat my ham. Leave me alone about turkey. And leave me alone about praying. If you want to pray and eat turkey, that is awesome. I am not going to hold that against you. But if you force me to do those things, that's when we're going to have a problem. But yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow, because even if like it is a somber event, and I'm kind of skeptical about how lunch will go. You know, it's nice to get with family and get out. You know, it's nice to go out and do things out of the house and with family, extended family. Now, immediate family, you know, that's not as special because you're with them all the time. Immediate family is usually limited to, like, spouses, parents, children. And siblings, that's the other one. I'm not sure if grandparents count, but my cousins, you know, I consider them extended family because I don't know if they count as, like, you know, nuclear / immediate family. Plus, they live a couple hours away, so we don't get to see them as often as I get to see my paternal grandparents. And of course, my dad and my brother, which I live with them. So yeah, it'll be a nice family lunch after the service. I just hope they have something that I like. If not, then I'm probably gonna, like, cook something when I get home. Or maybe not right when I get home, but I'll probably wait a little bit. Because I don't like to cook when my dad's in the living room, and especially when he's in the kitchen. But the living room as well, because sometimes I feel like we're in each other's way. Plus, you never know if he's gonna come into the kitchen. That's happened before. I wanted to do something in the kitchen, but I couldn't because my dad was like in the way. So that's one of the reasons why I eat lunch later than usual. Or later than most people. Or why I eat dinner later than most people. Because I like to wait until my dad goes into his bedroom for the night. So we're not in each other's way. But yeah, hopefully they have something that I like for lunch. I honestly don't care. I'm not asking for anything specific. I just want something that I like. I don't know, ham, spaghetti, burgers, fries, tacos. Oh, shoot. I used the wrong whipped cream. I was supposed to use the spray, but I used the dollop. But another issue is, like, I actually discussed this in my previous video. Sometimes they do have something that, like, you do like, but, like, it's cooked in a way that, like, ruins it for you. Like, for example, I love spaghetti. Spaghetti is one of my favorite foods. Way up there with tater tots, French fries. And hamburgers. I mean, like, a nice burger and fries from a yummy fast food restaurant. That's my number one favorite thing to eat, and of course, tater tots is, like, up there as well, but spaghetti stands right below that. I fucking love spaghetti, alright? But sometimes, like, it's just cooked in ways that kind of ruins it for me. Oh my gosh, I keep using the wrong shit. I'm getting distracted here. There we go. Here's the spray. Like, for example, back in 2018, when we went to Marble Falls with my grandparents, they brought spaghetti, but it had, like, cheese, like, all on it. Like, what the heck? I'm not really a fan of people who, like, just put toppings all over their food while they cook it. I think that's something that should be saved for, like, after. Like, when, like, people serve, like, when people, like, it's better to it's better to do it this way, just leave it plain. Just put, like, the basic stuff in it, like, spaghetti and of course the meat sauce. And then let people decide what they want on top of it, like when they get their serving. That way everyone's happy and no one has to feel like that the food was ruined for them. Oh my gosh, I almost didn't get the special because of my shenanigans. But yeah, it's like I said, it's much better to just let people put the toppings on after they serve themselves rather than like put it all over the spaghetti, because not everyone likes all the toppings on it or likes cheese on their spaghetti. So what's gonna ruin it for that person? They didn't put any spaghetti on it in 2017, but for some reason they just decided to in 2018. I don't know. And then another spaghetti incident, like when we went to meet Pipiazzi. I had spaghetti when we went to meet Pipiazzi. I think this was for my cousin's birthday. I think it was back in November. We went to meet Pipiazzi for her birthday, or however the restaurant's pronounced. It's an Italian restaurant. I got spaghetti. This incident wasn't as bad, but like, I did eat like a couple of bites of it. But I find out that there's like little bits of like onion in it, and I cannot do bits of vegetable in my food. I can't do big chunks or little bits. Both are just I was gonna do the dream job discussion. I don't know if I'm gonna do it in this video or when I do the Cluckeria episode. I kind of want to save it for the Cluckeria episode because it's a nice topic for the newest game to talk about, and we can just continue talking about what we're talking about here. Just food, family gatherings, etc., 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 etc. I'm not sure. It depends. If I run out of things to say and I still have a lot to record, then I'll talk about dream jobs. But if we come close to day 8 and I can still talk about my main subject, then I'll just save the dream job one for Cluckeria. But yeah, hopefully they have something. Hopefully there's something I like for lunch tomorrow. There's going to be quite a bit of people at the funeral service. I reckon they're going to have like a variety of foods to choose from. You know what? I still have day 4, 5, 6, 7 to go. I might do the dream job discussion today and find something else to talk about for Cluckeria. Yes, I know how to look at tickets. All right. Yeah, alright. Man, like I said, I want to be an author. I've gone through lots of dream jobs, but I think I finally found the right one. You know, I've actually already started working towards being an author. Although there isn't really much I can do right now after I get the book all written out, because you need a bank account. I believe you need a bank account. So when your books sell, the money will have somewhere to go. We're still waiting on my dad's lawyer to find something. To find like a guardianship lawyer. Because I'm going to need to do that. Then I'll get an ID. I believe I get the ID first after the guardianship thing. Then I'll get a bank account open. Because a couple of months ago, my dad did go to the lawyer's office, and he told him to find a lawyer that does like guardianship and whatnot. So hopefully we'll get they'll find one soon. If they can't find one in the town I live in, hopefully they'll find one in like a town nearby or something. Because that's what I'm nervous or skeptical about. I'm skeptical about them not being able to find one. Plus, that and, you know, there's just other stuff that we're dealing with right now, but that we're closing on as well. Like, for example, my uncle, my dad's brother, my dad's been having to deal with that. And then my brother's orthodontist stuff, which he actually got his braces taken off today. Then we have the service for my uncle tomorrow. So at least a lot of the stuff is coming to a close. And they'll make it easier and easier and closer to getting my stuff done. I cannot freaking wait to get my stuff done. I have been waiting for this since graduation. I've just been kind of laying about since I graduated. We haven't been... because of like move-in, the pandemic, and so it's been harder to like do stuff for me, but hopefully we can finally do it soon. And like I said, I'm starting on writing my first book, which will help get me off the ground as well. But man, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna... give it to them like this. Sorry, Whippa. I'm getting distracted. But yes, like, I think back in, like, March, I believe it was, I started writing. Or maybe it was May, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. But I started to write a book. I got started on writing a book. It's not necessarily like a story, like a fiction book, but it's more like an educational book. It's a book about the attraction towards fictional characters. You know, why people are attracted to them. You know, why it's frowned upon, you know, how it's beneficial, you know, why the hate should stop, you know. It's going to cover all those types of aspects. Because it's it's a topic that I'm very passionate, that I take seriously. I'm a self-shipper myself, and I have zero interest of getting a real partner, because I'm actually aro-ace in real life, which means I'm asexual, aromantic. So yeah, it's going to be talking about just different aspects of it. Like I said, I'm hoping I can help educate people on it. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to do that. I should get Manton today. Yup, I'm gonna go back to the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and buy New Year's clothes. Another book I have planned. I will probably. I'm not sure when I'm gonna write it. It may be a while, because I prefer to get started on this one and after my other one is published, which that's not gonna happen until, I get my ID and my bank account. But the book I have planned after my fictosexual, or my attraction towards fictional characters book, is a book about the autistic spectrum. I'm on the spectrum, so that's another topic I'm very passionate about, because a lot of people on the spectrum are misunderstood. So I want to try to educate people on the subject. Yeah, the jacket is Manton's. Actually, I still need to get him a shirt. Hold up. I appreciate the patience. I just prefer to get this done earlier. I'm not sure what shirt to get him. It'll probably be a green one. In reality, he wears a shirt that's darker green than his jacket, but I'm going by New Year's rather than like his actual colors, because it's going to be New Year's in a few days, and I feel like it's just a waste of money to buy everyday clothes when I'm better off giving him New Year's clothes, because it'll give me extra tips. It has female bodies, but that's just because I have it selected. You don't need... I think you can still give it to Manton, even though Manton will be a male. I think it's just to show you how it looks on females and how it looks on males. I don't think you have to... They're not, like, locked. It's just... Yeah, see, because... It's just to show you, because it says I have the shirt purchased no matter what I click on. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, Manton. So yeah. And speaking of religion, another book I have planned is The Harms of Religion. No, don't worry. It's not going to be completely anti-religious. But it is going to talk about, like, the harms of or the harms of religion. And just better ways to go about being religious. I love those eyebrows. They suit him so well. Yeah, see? It's just there to show you. Thank goodness, because it would suck if you had to, like, buy the male version for your male workers to wear it. That would get frustrating. I'm glad it's not like that. But yeah, the thought of everyone getting their dream jobs is comforting, you know? I know my friend Ash's dream jobs are to be an animator and electric guitarist. And as for Ethan, he wants to be a rapper, but you know, as for other dream jobs, I think he would like to be a shark scientist or like a gamer on YouTube, because a lot of rappers tend to go down the wrong path. I'm not saying all of them do, and I'm not saying I don't like rap music, but you know, a lot of rappers do tend to go down the wrong path. You know, that's purple Ethan. As for green Ethan, he wants to be like a scientist or a writer. As for Daniel Ploticon, I'm not sure, but I think he should be a Ploticonist. You know, once he doesn't have to deal with school anymore, I think he should try to make a living by making Ploticon videos. Because let me tell you guys, he is extremely creative at them. Like, he makes them in ways that other people haven't thought about. He does his own backgrounds, like, he does his own props, which are, like, items that he places. For example, like, you know, he did a Ploticon video called Classroom Assignment, and he actually had the characters eat Taco Bell. Like, he had actual images of Taco Bell in the video. He was somehow able to manage to put actual images of what they were eating in the video. And he can even, like, you know, do, like, certain effects. Like, he's been known to do certain filters. He's been known to do, like... I saw a video from him today. it wasn't uploaded today, but I watched it for the first time today where the camera was slowly zooming in on him. So he definitely has talent in plotting on that most people don't have. So I think he could make it as a plot-goner. Plus, his videos are hilarious and creative. Like, yesterday, I watched a video of where he morphed himself into a cockroach and he pooped on the teacher's head. Like, that is something most people don't think about. Turning into a cockroach and pooping on someone's head. You have to have ascended into a higher level of human intelligence to dream up something like that. Like, that's just not something most people would even dream up. So yeah, I cannot wait for Daniel to finally graduate from high school so he can actually focus on his plot-goner career. If he ever does decide to do that. I actually told him to. I told him he is one of the funniest and best and creative protagonists I've ever watched. And that he should make a living off of them. And he actually saw my karma and hearted it. But yeah, I think that will be a good fit for him. Unless he has some other dream job that I don't know about. Because who doesn't want to get paid for doing something creative, you know? Being able to make a good living off of doing something you enjoy, that is one of the best blessings a person can have. You know, every job has a worth, you know? Every job has a worth. Even if some jobs may not seem as significant compared to others, they still have their worth. For example, people who make video games and write books and YouTube videos, they bring entertainment to other people. People who work in fast food, a lot of people who do work in fast food are incompetent. I'm sorry, but they are. I'm not sure though. I don't know. Sometimes it's like the person taking the order's fault. But a lot of the times it is the actual chefs. You know, they have a hard time following basic instructions. But, you know, the right ones, the ones that do follow basic instructions, you know, even they're worth something. Because they provide yummy fast food for everyone. I love fast food. Fast food is something that I'll never get sick of. And Daniel Platigon and me, for example, you know, he's gonna, if I am correct and he does decide to make a career out of making Platigon videos, it'll bring entertainment to people. And as for me, hopefully I'll be able to educate people with some of my books. That would be awesome. Being able to, the feeling that I'm helping people and that I'm giving people the insight that they need. You know, it's a good feeling. I would love to fulfill that for myself. You know, doctors, lawyers, surgeons, you know, those aren't the only jobs that are worth anything. Sure, they're worth a lot. You know, doctors save lives, but even the seemingly smaller jobs have their purpose and worth as well. All jobs have a worth. we shouldn't judge people by their job. We should judge people by how they treat others. Thank you, Polly. Big Polly. But yeah, it would be awesome if we got to have our dream jobs. Daniel is gonna feel a lot better once he graduates from high school, and he can... I mean, he's gonna get an actual job too, because he's gonna need something to get him off the ground before he can actually do his real dream job. But at least it shouldn't be as bad as school, because at least he'll get paid. But yeah, being free from school, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there are things that I do like about school, but at the same time, it's also a good feeling that you not having to worry about it anymore. You can just focus on your dream job. Because Daniel wants to make polygon videos, but he just feels tired too because of school. Like, even during the summer, like, it still takes time for him to recover. Oops, forgot the crushed top. Man, I really hope he makes another video soon, though. I love his polygon videos. And I know Jaden Mayo does, too. Jaden Mayo and Daniel are, like, best friends. You know, he features him in a lot of his videos. He's, like, the top commenter on his channel. Plus, I noticed they have some things in common. They want to eat McDonald's a lot and pizza a lot. They want to eat fast food a lot. And I do not blame them in the slightest, because I want to do that as well. But yeah, like I said, Daniel does want to make videos. He just feels tired too, even during the summer, because I remember him saying, like, you know, he made a rant about summer going by fast back in July 2013. And he said he was still tired from school. So it takes time for some people to recover from an exhausting school year. Daniel's going to be a junior, so he has 2 more years of this. He has his junior year coming up. Then he has another summer vacation. Then he has senior year, and then he's finally done. From what I understand, I don't think he's going to go to college. Which, that's fine. I never went to college. It's not for everyone. You know, and some, like, especially if, like, you know, this can especially go for people who are on the spectrum. Some people who are on the spectrum can go to college, but a lot of them cannot. Because it's a lot of pressure for them. For us. I should say for us, because, you know, I'm on the spectrum. But man, hopefully we can all get our dream jobs. I can be a good writer, Ash can be a good animator or electric guitarist. Daniel can make a living and a career out of Plotagon videos. Green Ethan can either be a scientist or a writer, whichever he decides to do. Same with Purple Ethan, he'll be like a good gamer or a shark scientist, whatever he decides to do. I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I don't think he should become a rapper because, like I said, they go down the wrong path. And that has happened to Ethan before with some of his, like, interests, like, that can, because sometimes, like, interests and whatnot can cause people to go down the wrong path. That happened to him with MLP and possibly rap to an extent. So I think he should do one of his other dream jobs that he has. I know, like, a couple of years ago, he made a video of his top 10 dream jobs, and I remember voice actor and shark scientist being two of them. I might actually do that on my channel, actually. I might actually make a slideshow of my top 10 dream jobs. Oh my gosh. Mother Frenchie, are you serious? I skipped the tutorial. Stop getting in the way, you stupid bubbles. Plus, rants as well. Like, Daniel Plotagon, he makes a bunch of relatable, funny rants as well. Hell, he could probably make money off of doing that as well. As long as enough people are watching his videos and, like, they're eligible for monetization, he can make money off of it. Although, I gotta admit, I'm kind of mixed about monetizing on YouTube, because I feel like YouTube should be YouTube used to be a place where you didn't have to deal with ads, and I feel like it should still be like that. But at the same time, some people just have dream jobs on YouTube. I don't blame them. When you want to make a living, you want to do what you want. You don't want to have to, like, do something, like, hard or exhausting. You want to do something, like, fun and, like, that you enjoy. I don't blame them, because, I don't mean this in, like, an insulting way. We're all like this, but, a lot of people are just lazy. Like, and I mean, like I said, I don't mean that in, like, a bad way, and I'm not trying to sound insulting, but, I'm the same way. I'm a very lazy person. That's just how a lot of people are, especially in this generation. So yeah, we all just want to lay back, make YouTube videos, write. I'm not saying writing is lazy. I'm not saying people who choose to be writers are lazy. Or, because, jobs can be hard work too. Even the fun jobs, even they can be hard sometimes. But it still feels nice to have something you enjoy. To have, like, being able to enjoy it mixed in. I'm not trying to offend any writers or YouTubers, but I'm just saying, we all just want fun, laid-back jobs. Especially me. I'm working to be a writer myself, I would know. I've had like a lot of dream jobs over the years. I remember wanting to be an astronaut. That was probably the first dream job I have, or that I had, is being an astronaut, because I love outer space. I find outer space and astronomy absolutely fascinating. But I got away from that because, to be an astronaut or an astronomer it takes a lot of college. Plus, there's math that goes into it. There's complicated math, I think, that goes into being an astronomer, and yeah, I can't do that complex BS. And to be an astronaut, you have to be in shape. And I'm not a very in shape person. I'm probably one of the most unathletic people on the face of this earth. Plus, I heard you also have to cut your hair as well. When you're an astronaut, you have to cut your hair so it's not like floating around and whatnot. Yeah. Then I wanted to be a cake decorator for a while, or just like a pastry chef. Then I went through a small phase where I wanted to like work at a popcorn shop or at like some amusement park, selling like popcorn and like snacks and whatnot, drinks. Then another dream job I had for a couple of years was to be a florist. Starting in 2015 and like ending sometime in 2018, I was really dead set on becoming a florist because I love flowers. But the reason I started to get away from that is because I realized that it requires a lot of stuff that I don't know how to do. It requires like dexterity skills. Like, you have to be able to tie things. You have to be able to do a bunch of things with your hands, and I'm not able to do a lot of those things. Making certain floral crafts. So I decided to get away from that. And then, that's when I started, I've actually wanted to be an author for a while. It just wasn't like my main. It just wasn't my main thing I wanted to be until like recently. But that's always been a dream job that's been like floating around in my head for a while. Oh yeah, I also wanted to be a video game designer at one point. When I was like a junior, yeah, when I was like a sophomore, I don't know if I was I don't know if this started when I was a sophomore, but I do remember like when I was a junior, I was interested in like being a game designer. I was also hoping to work for Flipline. But that requires like drawing in a certain style and programming. So, yeah, I decided to get away from that, and then and then after that, that's when I wanted to be a florist for a bit. Another dream, like I said, like one of my dream jobs was to be a baker for a while. My number one dream jobs, but it's another dream job that's always been floating around in my head. I still like the thought of being a florist. It's just not like my number one anymore. I remember for a while, my number two, like back when I wanted to be a florist, my number two dream job was to be an entomologist, because Even though insects can be scary, because you never know when they're going to bite or sting you, they can also be extremely fascinating. But yeah, I think writer is the best way to go. I'm a good writer. I enjoy it. It's very relaxing and cathartic. Plus, you could, educate a lot of people with your books. And that's what I'm hoping to do. I've been told that I'm a good writer. So I think that's my calling. I think I finally found my true calling. Being an author. I would also like to be a screenwriter. That's another type of job under the writing umbrella that I would like to have, but I think being an author is better for me. Okay, I still need to make an apple crisp cake. But yeah, I think that would be a fun video to make. My top 10 favorite dream jobs. Sometimes making top 10 lists are enjoyable, or just top 5 lists, depending on how many things you have in mind. Just top lists in general. They can be fun to make. I may make one for my favorite food as well. Maybe my favorite holiday. That's not going to be on Plotagon or me talking. It's just going to be a slideshow on Google Slides, probably. But man, if I can help people with my books and I can make a good living, I would be internally grateful for whoever helps me with that. One thing that an author has to do besides being a writer is, they have to be able to promote their book. They have to come up with a good cover or hire someone to make a cover, which I'm thinking about just making my own book covers. Yeah, you have to come up with a book cover that grabs the reader's attention, and you have to be able to promote it properly. One tip that I learned in promotion is, focusing on a specific niche. For example, I'm going to be writing a book about, attraction towards fictional characters, self-shippers, people like that. And then I'm planning on writing a book about, the autistic spectrum. Ooh, New Year's. So one of the things I learned is promoting your book to those corresponding groups. For example, I can find certain autistic, certain groups that and certain people who have autism, or just groups that center around autism, and I can promote my book and promote my book to those particular people. Or people who want to learn about autism, people who know some people who know someone with autism. Those people are more likely to read my book than people who don't really have a good idea of autism, or people who don't really know anyone, or they don't have it themselves. Because if you don't really Because if you don't have autism yourself, or you don't like really know anyone who has autism, you're people. Those types of people are not as likely to read my book. People who do have autism, or people who know someone with autism, or like have a child with autism, they're more likely to read a book like that. All right, their holiday spirit meters are full. This also, the same thing does go with like the attraction towards fictional characters book I'm writing. I do want to promote my books to like, anyone in general, but it's all because I think anyone can benefit from learning about autism or the attraction towards fictional characters, but it's also important to focus on the corresponding groups, the corresponding niches. I'm probably going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to like try to promote it to people in general, and I'm going to be focusing on the specific niches, the specific groups and whatnot. And mine and Manton's holiday spirit meters are full. All right, that makes me happy. All right, guys, we're going to be getting New Year's, so I'm going to end this episode, and when I do episode 2, will be in New Year's. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later. Boy.